Yo guys, I've got a spark which I'm going to use to ignite the fire for a brand new episode of the Skylanders Spyro Adventure Soul Seeker series here on the channel. Now in the previous episode we had Bash even absolutely beast it through the might of Stone Town, but this time around, you know, we're going to be heading into crawling catacombs, acquiring our very first magic soul as we seek out the soul of Spyro himself. And then, you know, in the previous episode, we accidentally activated Shattered Island in hopes of going to Stone Town because I kept just accidentally pressing buttons on my D-pad that I did not mean to push, and one sequence became the other that led me slowly but surely to accidentally selecting the Shattered Island as the level that we wanted to go to, and we didn't really want to go there whatsoever. But this time around, I won't accidentally be picking Shattered Island after I acquire Spyro's soul. No, we're going to be going there purposefully. You know, with Spyro's soul, we can access that magic gate and finally unlock Chop Chop. So Ghost Roaster won't be left with without any undead companions, you could go as far to say. But for now, you know, T-Bone seems to need our help, so we're going to do exactly just that and help him out, all the same.
Don't worry about me. I'll just put me together as I go.
Okay, here we go with T-Bone. He's T-Boning it. Okay, luckily for us, it's very simple where all of his good old skeletal remains are. You know, we have literally a map leading us to it where X marks the spot. In this case, that's where the X shall be. Skull and crossbones, the X marks the spot. This game just says pirate written all over it. And anyway, T-Bone, could you stop with like your skeletal puns and just shut up so we can hurry up and construct you already? You know, with less of your speaking for more quicker, we could be reassembling you. Yeah, that's just how logic works and all that. Oh, well, let's be pushing these into place and grabbing those final bones right there. He's enjoying rattling his bones around a little bit too much, I must admit. But with that being said, it's time for the crawling catacombs. A level that everyone seems to hate for some reason, and truth be told, I don't understand why. I get that half the level is dark, that's something I don't particularly like about it either, but overall I think it's well designed. I like the collectible placement, it's clever, and, well, it's just cool really. Not literally cool though, you know, that's where the Empire of Ice comes in. Now that level is cool. I'm kidding, I hate it. Ice physics, I hate. A boss fight being a 20-minute wall, I hate. Even Slam Bam, I hate. That's a joke, I actually love Slam Bam. But still, Empire of Ice, not a cool level. It's just a cool level because of the ice. You'd assume the weather is quite cold, even though it normally isn't, because Empire of Ice, you know, in spring it's a nice, warm, perfect holiday location. And yet, given the wall, it all froze over. Which is why we spend 20 minutes defeating said wall in a boss fight fashion. It's not glorious. With that being said, we have a spider right there. Wouldn't be much of a crawling catacombs without things that crawl, now would it? That was shivers running down my spine. I mean, we are walking down a literal rib cage of bones right now. You know what a spine is? It's a bone. The bone that holds your back up. You break it, you're paralyzed. So don't do that. Luckily, that's not the bone I broke on my body. I broke my clavicle, my collarbone, on the left-hand side because the left-hand side of me is the only side that ever seems to break. You know, had I hit my right shoulder, I'd be fine right now, because my right side is just superior to my left one in every single way possible. If I could, I would make both my sides right, but that's just not how it works now, is it? Oh wait, it's Undead popping up already? Aye, yes it is. So it's time for Ghosty Roasty. I instantly regret that nickname on so many levels. Pow, pow! Hey, how dare you hit me? That's rude, man. So rude. Anyway, in the previous episode, I said I'd use Ghost Roaster's render for thumbnail. I'm going to stick to that. This episode will probably wind up being dedicated to Spyro as we just skip over Eon's origins. That probably is like the best story scroll in the game. You know, it truly does expand upon the Skylanders lore in very interesting, fascinating ways. But we're still going to skip over it regardless. The rules are the rules. I'm not here to, you know, make them. I'm here to enforce them. And the rules state quite clearly that whenever a story score pops up, I'd be wasting time otherwise, unless I skipped over it. And one thing we don't want to do is be wasting time. Now, do we? Time is precious and all that. The most precious thing any human being could possibly possess, because time is limited, and that's what makes it as valuable as it is, I'm afraid. Okay, let's be grabbing some gold though, don't mind if we do. Along with this key right here too. Bit of a rhyme right there, doing two, making me a poet not even knowing it. I'm kidding, I knew I was a poet the whole time. Okay. I'm gonna continue goes roasterying forward, which is a terrible phrase now that I've said it out loud and I've heard it in my head some more. But we're just going to stick with it all the same. Oh, look at that. It's a goopy fella. A fat belly spider with a pool of spider goo. And that sounds gross purely because it is. Either way. Boom! Launch that. Apparently not hit that wall below me, but I will hit the wall that was right in front of me. That makes sense. Not really. That's what we call sarcasm in the old business. Sweet. Okay, that should get it this time. That is if we're not going to have Hobney arrows coming in and interrupting the flow. Which I understand is a pretty big ask. Now get over here, you frickin' Hobney arrow. There we go, we got them all. Every last one. And that means we've finally gained access to the soul gem of the one, the only Spyro. Our first magic soul to have been seeked in all of its glorious glory. Earthbound the Spyro that of course we shall be previewing. It's funny though, because normally from the Stars Pack you'd be getting Hugo and Soul Gem first, but in the Soul Seekers series that's no longer a thing. You get Spyros first. Purely because you can't get Gilgrunts until you get Spyro, because Spyro is a magic Skylander who's able to access that magic gate to which Gilgrunt's soldier is locked behind. Otherwise we're grabbing that key right now. Sweet. And let's be getting out of here. Okay, here we go. All these collectibles all around me, it's just so sweet. It's also sweet right now, I've got to get access to this undead gate right here. And plenty more things to be destroying even. Can't go wrong with destruction! Okay, we have Chamber of Eyes. Boom, hit you in the face. Boom, hit that. Boom, hit that. And then, boom, hit that. And then we can get out of here. We got ourselves a new hat. It looks rather artistic, but it's not nearly as artistic as the combat hat that Snuckles was wearing, so I'm going to trust his taste. It's good taste in hats. Because of course it's good taste. With it being Snuckles, it's good taste by default. That's just how Snuckles works, him being a legendary genius and all that. Anyway, these guys have got to go. Boom, baby. Okay, watch out for spikes, as we have a Moon Widow right now. Black Widow wishes she was awesome, as awesome as this Moon Widow right now. Even though the Moon Widow is not really awesome because it does that, and I hate it when it does that. There we go, that guy's finally gone. We're going to, by some miracle, accidentally hit that right now. We're going to grab this bomb over here. Blow up this wall. Sweet. This is where we're going to find the location of legendary treasures. But first things first, we've got to push blocks into place. Okay, sweet, that's all sorted. So now we have diagonals in which we can traverse with our bomb to successfully acquire certain legendary treasures within our path. There you go, simple as that really. I mean, not difficult, that's why it's simple all the same. Then again, simple things aren't always easy. Just because something's simple doesn't make it easy by default. Easy and simple are not the same thing. You know, something easy could still be sophisticated. I mean, most of the time, the pattern is that something is easy because of the simplicity of it. But still, you know, that's not always the case. The two aren't, you know, tied together. They aren't tethered like some fucking soul link or something, which I swear in fact wasn't necessary, but we're going to bring it about anyway, as I completely miserably fail with that bomb throw right there. We're just going to, you know, speed round it right now. Grab the treasure chest that nice old-fashioned way, as I continue to tilt the stick back and forth, tilt the stick back and forth. Here we are. Invincibility! And then, not so much invincibility, more so frozenness, which is my dad's favourite movie. He just can't let it go. That's a pun that I could not help myself with neither, if I'm being perfectly honest. Anyway, let's get out of here before those spiders continue to hit me, because that is rather unfortunate when they do exactly just that. And I don't like it very much. Okay, here we are. Here comes some fools for us to be taken down, just like that. Oh wow, that was one easy way to take down all the Moon Widows right there. Just kind of like blow everything up and shit. Yeah, unfortunately when I use the right stick to insert the key into the door, I also launch the bomb at the same time, which is not what I wanted, but it's just what I'm going to have to deal with, unfortunately, as I blow up this, which is what I intended to do the whole time, and gain access to our second treasure chest right here. But unfortunately my speed was a little bit too much to remain within the hitbox of the treasure chest being openness, which I'm pretty sure isn't a word, but is now because I said so. And man, I said that quickly. What I'm also going to do very quickly is swap out for Igniter. I'll do that as quickly as possible because I love playing this character, him being my favourite character and all that. Okay, here we go. So much destruction. And spiders too that want a piece of me, but they ain't getting it, boys. They ain't getting it. Boom, baby. Okay, I want that chicken. Sweet. That's what we like to see. Okay, so it's time for us to first around here some more. Take out some of that stuff right there. Nice, very, very nice. Take out you two while we're at it. Very nice. Oh, get out of that. Okay. Boom! Finish off that fool right there. Okay. Next up, we're going to have to do some running with these here bombs. Plenty of it too, but first things first, I have things that need to be destroyed, so I suppose we should definitely be prioritising that. Oh, that combo was an accident. What I meant to do was charge a power slam right here, and then boom, baby! Simple as that. Then take out the Moon Widow, slowly but surely. There we are, I caught it off guard. And you know, normally you think these guys would be trouble. Not for a Igniter and not for a bomb neither. Okay, we gotta run though. We gotta run faster than this, otherwise we're never gonna make it. Run, Igniter, run! Run faster! Just take that damage like a champ and boom, baby! We might have barely just made it, but barely just making it is still making it all the same, as we can now finally grab this treasure chest. Such glory, might I also add. All of this glorious gold we see before us. I couldn't be more satisfied. But on that note, let's head up here. And then, you know, do some stuff, I suppose. You know, including that wall up there that's still not having been bombed just yet. And we're kind of going to need to do that if we want the final key to open up the gate with, mind you. All necessary for these here steps I'm taking, every last one, especially the murdering part, you know, that part was especially necessary. Because hey, those spiders, they had it coming. And with that being said, let's be opening up this double door without further ado. And for the first time in the series, we're going to have a magic elemental area that we can actually switch out for. Man, this right here is a miracle. But, you know, one thing we also need to do on top of all that is actually take ownership of the man, the myth, the legend himself. Or not, because we've taken ownership of that already, because apparently this Spyro is level 1 and hasn't, you know, like, earned any experience or upgrades yet, which is not good. Not good at all. I mean, I'm using my Eon's Elite Spyro right now. The game registers it as Spyro all the same, so I have no idea why it's level 1. I must have accidentally reset it. Because, you know, last time I checked, it definitely had upgrades and, you know, a decent level, like 10. Which is just about as decent level as you get. But luckily for us, we're going to have that level up coming in clutch. You know, it's going to destroy absolutely everything in sight. But man, if level 1 Spyro gets through this, that will be totally badass. Because this isn't the easiest section to get through completely unscathed, might I also add. Okay, these fools have got to go. Okay, here we are. This guy has got to go also. You know, they looked at me funny, and we don't much appreciate that here. Oh, but we do appreciate the level ups on the other hand. Okay, here we go. Let's finish off some fools then. I'm stuttering from just how intimidating Spyro is. You know, can you imagine the enemies? They must be quivering with such fear right now. Either way, we want to pick up all this gold, of course. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to upgrade this Spyro without it now, isn't it? Okay, that pretzel, not that we need it, because Igniter somehow beasted this complete and utter section and leveled up all the way to level number 5. Let that be a tip for those of you who want to level up your Skylanders quickly. You just bring them to this here section, mind you, where despite being level 1, I'm sure you'll beast it like I just did right now. Of course you're impressed, T-Bone. I mean, Spyro coming through with a legendary clutch right now. And I can say that too, because Spyro even has a legendary form. So yeah, unfortunately we can't skip over any of this, so we're just going to have to wait for the level objectives to come up and wait for loading screens to finish so that then we can finally load up your good old Shattered Island intentionally on top of all that. The intentional part is what's important. With that being said, it's time to skip over the unnecessary deeps to do and prepare for the Shattered Island 100% run. Then we can go back to it and do the speed run, no doubt directly afterwards. I won't have any reason to do so otherwise.
We're not just looking for an eternal undead source, we're looking for the eternal undead source.
Boy, Hugo is he's really quite something in this game, shall we say. But I love this NPC. You know, it's nice that he's the main NPC in this game. This game is effectively Spyro and Hugo's game, but Hugo's adventure doesn't quite sell itself to you as well as Spyro's adventure does now, does it? So much does, in fact, that I'm here saying it on repeat for repetition, for effect and all that. With that being said, you know, zombie bullies, man, I know that all too well, my friend. They do that, and we hate it when they do that. We hate it so much as we don't hit up for cadaverous crypt, at least not yet, and I hope that's how it's pronounced because it's quite a fancy word, that cadaverous. I mean, I used to call it cadaverius, or however other ways I used to pronounce it. Either way, though, it was wrong. I can guarantee you that much. Cadaverous is how it's pronounced, and speaking of pronunciations, Shattered Island. I can pronounce that much with ease. Now with this level, of course, I had to go through this to magically get to Chapter 3 for Sonic Boom Soul Gem, mind you. So, unfortunately, you know, that meant that I had to go through this completing as few objectives as possible. But unfortunately, you cannot beat this level without getting the enemy goal. The enemy goal is literally like 15 enemies, and you have to defeat 15 chompies to advance at one point in the level. So it's basically impossible to do this level without getting the enemy goal. And that's why I have that objective already completed. You know, alongside all of the other story objectives that you get compulsory alongside the completion of the level at hand, mind you. But say I had to speedrun through this level in order to get to Chapter 3, where we could seek out our first soul, that being Sonic Boom's, the first soul gem in the game, from which you can get without a specific elemental soul having been seeked out, unlike Chop Chop and Stump Smash that are locked behind respective elemental gates. Anyway, let's be opening up this chest right here. Spyro could really be doing with it too, given the fact that it has no upgrades. Okay, all that gold, glorious gold, but now we get to head on back here and canonify this here section. Boom, baby! Okay, now that house has been destroyed, we can pick up the legendary treasure, which is a pick of all things. It's actually quite cute. Anyway, fire the cannon already, you stinking Spyro. How many times do I have to press the mother stinking button? Okay, so there's the swine salary. Sweet, let's grab this key then. And open up the gate. There we are. Sweet. And we can be skipping over these cutscenes, which is glorious. And there's Blobbers, the man, the myth, the legend himself. We love to see him, quite literally too, because he is single-handedly the greatest NPC that Skylanders has ever created. Anyway, we have more cutscenes to skip, and turtles to be blobbing into place. Very nice indeed. Boom! Time for our first ever magic elemental gate opening right here. Here at the turtle hideout, where at long last we have Chop Soul Gem, as well as this hat over here, which Spyro's absolutely going to be wearing because the Viking hat just looks fitting. I mean, it has horns on it. Spyro charges, horns are first, horns are blazing, extra horns, extra damage. Not quite how the buff works, but still it looks cool whilst he's charging, and that's what matters. What also looks cool is Chop's Cursed Bone Bramble, which we shall now be previewing. Ghost Roaster having a friend for the first time in the series. Only took us 12 episodes to get to this point. A dozen episodes, and Ghost Roaster has been the only undead Skylander for pretty much all of them. Anyway, on that note, we can finally get out of here. You know, grab some more story scrolls for us to just skip over immediately and just forget that they ever existed. Ignorance, for lack of a better way of putting it. Complete and utter ignorance of the way over we bounce. We like to see it as we skip more cutscenes. Here at the chompy bit where we skip even more cutscenes. Man, it feels so good to just blaze through levels and skip everything. It feels so good indeed. Especially tutorial levels where they can't stop talking. I mean, I get it, they have to teach us about the game, but do they really have to teach us about the game? Like, do they really, man? Can't they just leave us be, let us play? Or am I asking too much? Of course I'm asking too much. Either way, we now have some elemental gates to deal with. So first things first, let's bring in Zap and deal with the water gate at hand. Okay, sweet. Let's be whirlpooling out of here. Yeah, these gates aren't exactly very sophisticated. For the first gates in the video game, they really just wanted to give you simple stuff. Even though they are the most likely where you're going to die in this level, because you're not going to die to Chompies, so you're more likely going to die to the blades in the tech section of the level, more than anything. Oh wait, let's pick up that hat. It's not nearly as glorious as this birthday hat that Zap currently is wearing, so we're going to leave Zap with, of course, said birthday hat, and instead loop back around with this here treasure chest. Grab all the gold from within it, not that we need it, given that Zap is currently level, well, completely maxed out on gold, you could go as far to say, but with the tech elemental game in hand, we are going to place onto Portal Drill Sergeant for the very first time. So let's take ownership of this guy right now. Yes, we do. And for some reason, this guy is also level 1 with no upgrades whatsoever. I'm getting, you know, deja vu right here with both Spyro and Drill Sergeant being in the literal same boat. Okay, so let's be opening up this present and getting ourselves an Anvil Hat, which we don't have much better do, so of course we're going to wear it. I accidentally said that the Anvil Hat came with the water gate. That was because I wasn't paying attention. It was actually a pan hat. But hey, both of the hats consist of some sort of metal, so that therefore makes them the same thing. That's just how it works, my friends. Anyway, let's be grabbing all this gold once more. We like to see it. Here, an ancient landmark. Interesting name for an area. Now let's plow through these chompies right here. Destroy that last one with one of my rockets, I suppose. Which is, you know, after I fire it, gonna take 10 years to reload. because that's just how Drill Sergeant works. He's slow-paced and really, really shitty. I understand that people like this character, but I just can't, you know, find myself on that same boat, unfortunately. And hey, you're entitled to your opinions, despite the fact that that's not how opinions work. Because how opinions work is that my opinion is superior to all of yours, and if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Which is, in of itself, a joke. In case that wasn't obvious enough as is. But we now have every objective with the exception of the speedrun. So we're going to let this load up, not for long, because we're going to go back and boot up Shattered Island immediately after all of the loading screens are said and done with. So let's freestyle this level without further ado. This will mean that chapters 1 through 9, I think, will be 100%, with the exception of Darkwater Cove. I'm waiting to unlock some more water and magic Skylanders for that. You know, so that then we can tackle those gates with magic and water characters that we haven't seen before already. I want to really start balancing out the screen time between different characters in this series. Otherwise, it's just boring, isn't it? Seeing the same characters over and over again. Like how the first 4 episodes had nothing but Sonic Boom on repeat. It felt like... Not that anyone had any problems with that whatsoever, because again, Sonic Boom is a great character and clearly the MVP of this here Soul Seeker series. Anyway, let's be skipping that, as we always do. Opening up the gate without further ado while we're at it. Boom goes the wall. Grab ourselves a key right there, don't mind if we do. Then open up the gate. We skip over that cutscene. This one too. See what I mean? It's so much more fast paced when you skip over the cutscenes and not have constant interruptions. I love it this way. And the speedrun world record for this level is insane. I'm going to actually show it to you with Chompy as the channel credit after I'm done speedrunning this level even on my own accord. So yes, you guys will have that to enjoy in a new SkyTuber that will be linked in the description below, so definitely be sure to go check them out, otherwise you will be missing out on some excellent Scans content. So yeah, let's be plowing down some more of these chompies right now. Goodbye! Okay. Boom, charge straight into him. What's cool is that when this guy gets up close and personal, you no longer need to fire off your rockets, instead you can just jab them. That's a nice touch, I suppose, anyway. Because grab that final piece of gold, not that it's going to matter much, because 111 is nowhere near enough money for upgrades. Upgrades that Drill Sergeant desperately needs on that note. Anyway, let's be blowing up some walls. Boom, baby! And destroying some crates too whilst we're at it, or barrels specifically. Anyway, now that all said and done, I believe that was one successful speedrun. So now you can see the world record and just how insane it is.
Hey!
Enchanted boots grant you great speed. Greetings, young Portal Master. Use the action button to fire the cannon.
Yay! Let's get to the balloon!
Your Skylander will need a key to open this gate. Push the turtle to clear a path forward.
I wish I was on the other side of this gate!
You need a tech Skylander to unlock this gate.
Hooray!
But now we're back to boring old me, Spyro's face and everything, which now, you know, I can look at that Spyro's face and be reminded that we have finally seeked out his soul on this very episode. But regardless of all that, this episode right here is coming to an end. Is it not? Yes, it is. That was a rhetorical question. Now, with that all being said and done, this video is coming to an end, but before that happens, I first want to thank all my Blazing Knights and Scorching Dragons whose support allow me to continue pumping out quality videos like this one. Without them, this all wouldn't be possible. Therefore, I genuinely appreciate every last one of you from the bottom of my heart. If you enjoyed this video, I have others you can watch by clicking on screen now, and you can even subscribe by pressing the button on the bottom right hand corner of the screen. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll be seeing you in the next one, but until that moment arises, peace!